10-second countdown. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Second match, center square, Lanciax. I'm calling it.
Wait.
Oh!
Okay. You were incorrect.
I like that. I like that.
So wrong.
I like that a lot.
This is a very cool center square because it's like if you you can go for it right away. You should go for it right away. But if you miss it, you do not get to go back to that square for another 20 minutes at least. It's one of those squares that it is an early game square until it's not, and then it's a mid game square.
This is a very early game board. Holy guaca frickin' moly.
Oh yeah. Wow, okay. Yeah, that's a lot of gold stars you put on the board there, Dom.
A lot of stuff
gold
here.
Stars.
A lot of stuff here.
This looks like my report card in elementary school.
Are you bragging now?
Yes, sir.
Brag about your gold stars?
I don't have too much to brag about. That's one of the things I got going for me, and I am not gonna let that slide, okay?
Looks like Confessor has Starfists here, by the way, and also the Qatar.
Well,
which, by the way, Qatar is actually pretty damn good. Also,
now
there is a square claws, fists, daggers only that fits into Starfists here. So this is crazy. Okay, so we have Starfist, an insanely powerful weapon. We have a square that already applies to that. We've got Grafted Scion on top of that. The stat line plays into Starfist, so you can actually use Starfist from the very beginning. And Pup kind of looking at what seems to be Dragon Scale Blade and Cestus instead. Still a fist weapon, but you have Dragon Scale Blade on top of that, which is a really, really good Somber weapon. So it's going to be very interesting, the choices.
The Castus, it is, a very good fist weapon, as well as the Star Fists. So, if you want to kind of hedge your bets and go for something that... I think Star Fists are good enough to commit to for an entire bingo match. What about you?
Yeah. I would... What I would do, honestly, is I would go Starfist regardless, because the Cestus that Pup has doesn't have bleed on it. I'd go with Starfists and just hope that Twins has something good for me that I can buy to at least perform Somber-wise.
Yeah, I think I would agree. Although they aren't Somber, because they are so incredibly powerful, you could get away with a +6 and just stick with that. Look at how many early game squares there are here as well. I think that regular smithing stone weapons also are favorable for the very early game. So if you have a lot of very early game squares, then I think you can get away with it more, which we do.
Yep. And like I said, also in this case, 10 seconds left. I would go with Starfist on top of this because it has bleed, and for the early game squares, rushing Grafted Scion, rushing Godric Remembrance only, fists, claws, daggers only. Squares like that is going to be insanely.
+0.
Yeah,
we got
lots of bleed here.
So many things here.
Lots of bleed here to work with.
And I do wonder if we're going to see another situation where the early game, is extremely dominated by one player, or if it's going to be a bit of back and forth. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just.
I agree.
I was thinking to
myself. Right. Oh, whoa. Aggie not going for... Neither one of them going for Grafted Scion? They both say screw that? That is surprising.
Man, come on.
That's a no-brainer.
I would have done it. I would have 100% done that.
Although, okay, think about it this way. Grafted Scion may be a little bit of a trap. Because look at consumables only. That's a rushable. Look at a Geel with +0.
It's a center square.
It is the center square, but by going for it, you set yourself behind on other extremely rushable squares. And we have seen in the past, I don't know if we've seen it much this season, but certainly in the last season, where somebody goes for the Grafted Scion square and it sets them back on a lot of other squares. And suddenly, even though they've gotten a square on the board first, they are behind their opponent.
Hear me out. You rush Grafted Scion, right? Then you consider Dectus afterwards. You go for Fort Faroth first. In this case, you do Celia Town Skip, you grab the painting, and in case you don't get the deck disc, you still are working towards paintings. Instead, work towards the diagonal. That way you have Radahn's Great Rune, Wormface, and Leonine Misbegotten. You already have a threat on the board.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Agreed. But it looks like neither of our players see that as an opportunity to go for that. So what they're going to do instead is not go for... Puppery is not going for consumables.
Dude, I don't know what's going on.
But it looks like Aggie is heading towards these cookery here. So I imagine Aggie will be going for the consumable square.
Yep, looks like that
This makes sense to me.
So this might be then Pup going for a Gil +0?
I think that's a good play. I honestly, okay, recognizing Aggie as a very competent speedrunner, I think, you know, if I'm Puppery and I don't have as much experience as Aggie with speedrunning, honestly, I don't know how much experience Pup has with speedrunning, but, you know, if I'm in Puppery's shoes personally, what I'm doing is going for something that basically, if my opponent's a speedrunner, I'm going to go for something slower and try to snag it before they can. You know, you go for the second fastest square, I think. I feel like that's a good play.
Very unfortunate here for Aggie, not getting the headshots. I believe
no headshot loops on Beastman of Far Missoula here.
Yeah, I think he just was a little too high up. The room is a little bit sloped, so if you don't stand in like a good spot here, some of those daggers don't really hit the head of the Beastman. But luckily, it's not contested.
Several throwing knives here. Yeah. He's gonna have to stop whiffing, or he's gonna just run out of sauce for this.
He does have he missed two there.
Oh, he's missing so many.
He does have 4 kukris, which does proc a bleed, but he's got to stop missing.
Yeah, he has missed a good, I don't know, 38% of these throwing knives.
This is so bad.
And with 4 kukris, if he misses a single one of these, he might be in a rough spot.
One more should bleed proc. No, this one should bleed proc. Uh-oh.
If this doesn't bleed.
Oh,
it did not bleed.
Dude, oh my god, that is... Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, that is pain. That is pain, man.
Aggie just running out of gas on the Beastman of Far Missoula. Wasting a lot of runes in the early game, as well as wasting a lot of time. This is gonna hurt. Really unfortunate. I mean, some of that comes down to RNG with the Beastman of Far Missoula attacks just perfectly strafing the throwing daggers. I think they may have updated his AI for this. But, you know, on top of that, just I think you just have to be more careful with your throwing materials.
It's still at the beginning of the game. 5 minutes in, no one's got a square. Like, it's not the worst, but definitely tough. Definitely tough.
As far as time investment goes, compared to the late game, that is a very small time investment.
Yeah.
So he didn't really lose much. It's just unfortunate that he invested that time and didn't get the square he wanted out of it. Fortunately for him, it was uncontested, which means that, you know, that square is still open for him.
I'd go for a Gil right now, to be honest.
What do we see Puppery doing here? She may just be rushing Dectus. Oh, paintings, of course. Yeah, she got that first painting already.
Yeah, going for paintings here. Yeah, I don't know.
I think paintings into Dectus is a really good play for her.
Yeah, I agree.
Some of that Beastman of Far Missoula was an absolute troll.
I'm surprised it wasn't a bleed proc after 4 kukris. You would think that...
Yeah, I was surprised. If that usually bleeds, I mean, those kukris were not far apart from each other. That is definitely weird.
I'm very surprised.
I mean, I think he was short by like what, 1 throwing dagger,
and he is
like
going
that's about as rough as it gets.
Going for
Looks
a
like
Gil
he's going
here.
for a Gil. Yeah,
that's a good move.
I think this is a great play. That'll get him the runes he needs to go back and secure the consumable square if he wants it. But honestly,
This should be really quick though for Aggie in this. Dude,
but sorry, what were you saying? I think you cut out there at the end of your sentence. What were you about to say there, Dom?
Dude.
Right.
That is something, man. That is.
Of the things
I'd be furious.
that exist, that is definitely one of them. I would agree.
I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad. That is brutal. Getting good attacks here, though.
Yeah. A little bit of... Okay, he got stuck on the terrain. And I don't think it let him get off of his horse.
This is where I want the players to position a little bit better on Agil, by the way. When he does the stomp attacks, you want to be in front of him, because after the stomp, you can easily get a jumping headshot, which allows for a lot of poise buildup. Getting a lot of damage here, though. He should get a riposte as well. Nice bleed proc, potentially.
Are you a stomp roller, or are you a stomp jumper?
I'm a stomp jumper, 100%.
I'm also a stomp jumper, but like, yeah, you see, he
Because
goes
of
for
that.
a roll there. He gets absolutely blasted by the giant foot of Mr. Agil.
Yeah. Dude, that is brutal. That is just brutal. What a day.
Fortunately, still making really good headway, in a great position to snag this square. He now sees that Puppery has gotten the 2 paintings, gives him a lot of information about where she may be going next, what she has advantage on.
This is good, though, for him, though, too, because this is telling him, okay, she's going for paintings, maybe even Dectus afterwards. This means I can go for Agil. I can go maybe for consumables again once I have the money from Agil and give that a second try, you know?
I think this gives him a lot of information to work with.
Yeah.
That said, Puppery will get some information back when Aggie does finish this fight. But, you know, she's got to wonder, you know, what was he doing before that Agil fight?
Right, maybe just a bunch of prep. There we go, +0 Agil for Aggie. 1 for 1 on the board.
Very nice.
That should at least give you a little bit of confidence. You know, if you that's like the one thing with bingo. It's like, even if you're having a bad day, as soon as you're able to mark a square, it kind of like gives a little bit of relief. Like, okay, I finally did something. I can mark it off.
Oh my, just completely clobbering Ronnie there.
You know, talk about
what did she do?
Talk about being upset at yourself. He just punched himself a couple of times there.
Right, you are. Somebody could the technicians please pull up the screenshot of Aggie dressed as Ranny, please?
Ranny?
Ronnie? It's the same thing.
The hell is Ranny? What is this?
It's an A, Dom. Okay, say it like an A, not an O.
Okay, dude. Raw is not an O. That'll be Roni.
But there's a W. There's not a W in Ranny, is there? I didn't think so. Sorry, I lost
English,
my composure there.
dude. It's not
I'm
my
sorry.
fault. I just moved here.
There. I'd like to apologize to all the fans about my outburst.
That right there was a very beautiful Ranny. She's sitting on that nice little church waiting for someone so you can give her bell.
Well, as a Texan, I feel extremely disrespected by this accent.
That's all right. I don't give a damn.
That's kind of based, not gonna lie.
There we go.
The Texans would approve of that mentality.
And here we have both consumables again. Let's just hope that that is going to be enough throwing daggers in this case. He doesn't have kukris anymore.
The whiffs.
This is bad. I'm stressing.
Oh, he's just punching. Honestly, I respect this. At a certain point, I gotta say, if I'm Aggie in this situation, I see that row 1, and I think that Remembrance Boss daggers, claws, or fists only could be quite powerful for him. Applying some more threat on that row 1, blocking the column 2 that Puppery has started work on as well. Although he will have to figure out how to block row 2 for sure. I think if I'm Aggie, once Puppery secures this Deck to Lift medallion, might be a good idea to start working towards 14 different incantations.
Something. Just there we go. Full deck this for Pup, by the way, having 2 squares on road 2. However, Moog Sewers is on there, so not necessarily a rushable line as it was last game. So that does give him a little bit of a breathing room here.
In terms of rushable lines, is anything standing out to you here?
Let's see. I mean, not really.
There's a lot of fast squares, but I mean, I'm looking at rows and columns here, as you do, and it seems like most of these lines have something pretty slow on them.
Yeah, for the most part. Like, column 5 is pretty good until 4 different remembrances. Column 3 is pretty good until you have Valiant Gargoyles. Like, I don't know, Valiant Gargoyles isn't too bad. You could definitely pull off 3 faster than 5, time-wise. So there is that.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like looking at this, in all likelihood, this could be a majority board.
Potentially. Definitely easier to block lines here in this match, I think, than it is last match, where there's just way too many easy squares in a row to where you're kind of like guessing.
I think if I'm Puppery in this situation, I gotta wonder, you know, I gotta look at this and be like, okay, what could be taking, you know, what could Aggie be spending this time on? And I feel like if I'm trying to predict Aggie's next move, I probably would predict the Remembrance Boss with daggers, claws, or fists.
Yeah. I'm surprised actually that that's not on either of their minds. Like, hey, I have a fist weapon. Why don't I just go straight for Godric in this case? Like, it is literally pre-prepped. You don't have to find a weapon. You already have it. And in this case, Aggie's got Star Fists, one of the best weapons in the game.
You also do need to consider that there is a square that is Remembrance Boss bow only, which Godric is, you know, undoubtedly the best boss to go for bow only in my mind. You know, maybe Renala, but I don't know. I wouldn't bank on that.
I'd rather do Radahn over Renala, personally.
And so if you want that Remembrance Boss bow only, I think, you know, holding off on killing Godric could be the play.
Dude, and now Pup going for that consumable square. I would be so just annoyed seeing that square light up now for somebody else.
Oh, and look, every dagger just connecting.
Uh-oh.
I mean, he's breaking out of the headshot loop.
But there we go. This should be another square. Oh! There we
watch
go.
Yourself there, Dom. A little scary.
That was a little monk dubs. I'm not gonna lie. That was a little scary.
Oh, and Aggie was actually on his way to Soldier of Godric to complete the consumable only square, which means he did get sniped here. At this point, you know, looking at it, he did lose a fair amount of time. It certainly could be worse, but I feel like the worst part of this is just the mental impact that whole rigmarole with Bofa could have on Aggie.
Rigmarole? What is that?
That's right, Dom. It is what it is.
Is that a made-up term, or is that an actual term?
It's a little bit like a fiasco, or a my brain came up with the word haberdashery, but that is not even remotely related.
Yeah, that's not even close.
That is a fun word, though. Maybe we should use that.
That's not even.
I like that word.
That's not even close to what we're talking about. That's funny though. Margaret here for Aggie, and it looks like Margaret here for Pup.
Pup as well.
Okay, dude. I swear to God, like I just want Aggie to get fists only on Godric, so that we at least have something going on that is not, you know, an incident, and that I don't know. I feel bad. I think
it's a mental game for Aggie right now. If he can maintain the mental pull it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Secure a couple squares. He's definitely in this. But, after what happened with the Beastmen of Far Missoula, it's got to be hard not to be tilted.
Well, this is good, though, that Pup is going to round table first, potentially. Nope. No, she's not. Never mind.
No, she's not. You were completely wrong there, Dom. I have to say. Mm-hmm.
It's a better Margaret fight than it was last match, though, for Aggie as well, by the way. Gets the bleed proc here. Very, very nice.
The bleed.
Make sure to not, obviously, eat the stagger in that animation.
Not getting
very nice.
Smashed by the hammer.
Very, very nice.
Good stuff. Oh, Pup has actually switched off of Star Fists for...
Dragon Scale.
Oh, no, Puppy didn't go for the Star Fists. Puppery went for...
You just call her Puppy.
Did I? I don't know. Must have been an audio glitch on...
Yo, hello?
Hello. Is this thing on? Now that that's all sorted out, I very clearly said Puppery. But yeah, Puppery switching to the Dragon Scale Blade.
Really, really good weapon.
Yep, and yep.
And Margaret being dead for Aggie, going for that Grace. I'm assuming he's not going to sit down, though, make his way to Godric, not go to round table and just get the square first and then go to round table. At least that's what I'm hoping he's going to be doing. Just make sure that he has the most momentum towards this square. Pup almost having Margaret down at this point. Maybe get another freeze proc here.
What I'm thinking about here, though, is like how much value is in this square. It does secure you a spot on the board. It increments your square's claimed number up by 1, but does it give you any progress towards a realistic line?
Yes. Kill Remembrance Boss with Remembrance Weapon only. Bottom left. That corner square is pretty good. It's a corner square.
Okay.
But also you have to kill
Yeah.
Godric in order to even get anything. Or in this case, any Remembrance. But killing Godric is definitely worth it in that case. And in Aggie's case, might be a really good Sombra weapon.
Yeah? Okay. Thank you for answering my question.
No problem.
But yeah, I mean, as we mentioned earlier, these lines are pretty tough to actually secure. We've got 4 different remembrances in the top right corner, occupying 3 different lines. Honestly, these corner squares, top right and top left, are both kind of brutal. I suppose restoring the Great Rune isn't, too bad, but there's a lot you have to do first. But I mean, with this board, I honestly... Remembrance Boss Bow only is going to be really, really tough to secure.
Well, if you go for Serpent Arrows in this case, when you go for the Dragon Burrow Merchant, you could just poison Radahn in this case, right? It's a little bit of a longer, obviously, attempt, but it does get you Bow only Radahn.
That's true, yeah. Definitely a bit of a late game play, though.
Yeah, no, 100%. Currently 3-1 here for Pup.
We may also see a cracked pots race here.
Maybe. I know. Usually, this is the interesting thing, is that Aggie was a huge fan of Russian cracked pots. It's like one of his biggest things was cracked pots.
Aggie's going back to round table.
Yep.
This
Burge.
I don't know about this.
Burge on Pup's screen here. You gotta be careful. She's running out of stamina. She's gotta be very careful.
Aggie's upgrading for Godric. Hopefully that doesn't cost him too much time. And these birds are on a mission. My God. Pupper getting hit by every single enemy between here and Godric and actually dying to the troll.
Holy shit. That kind of felt like when someone takes a sock and puts a bunch of nickels in it and just starts hitting you with it. That's kind of like what that looked like, where they just keep on like whooping you,
Wait, when what happens?
When you never heard of that? You take a sock You put a bunch of nickels or coins into it, and then it hurts like hell. It's like a club pretty much.
When you make an at-home flail
Pretty
and commit
much.
a crime with it,
I mean, I don't know if it's a crime necessarily. It's just
I'm last time I checked, Dom, I'm pretty sure assault is a crime. Absolutely.
you know. But if you look at it this way, if the coins fall out of the sock, then you got some money. Buy yourself a Band-Aid.
Right you are, Dom. Very well said. And Aggie is almost done with this Godric fight. That is, look at that. He's making quick work
Nice bleed proc
of
too.
Mr. Godric the Grafted. Let's see how Puppery handles the Burge section of Stormvale this time around.
Grab
So
the
far-
golden seed too.
Oh, the birds are here. You gotta, I mean, it's at a certain point. You gotta just quit out, right? Quit out for safety.
You could, but you don't have to necessarily. If your lines are accurate, you don't have to deal with birds or the soldiers.
Looks like she did make it there safely. Honestly, in this situation, I think this is a good time to, whenever she sees the Remembrance Boss, Daggers, Claws, or Fists only pop, I think this would be a good opportunity for her to just quit out and leave Godric.
Well, I mean, it's about to pop right now.
That is very true. Extremely true.
There it is. Nice square
yeah.
for Aggie.
She's got two potential plays here, and she is going for the quit out. Yeah. She could, I was going to say she could kill Godric for the runes, which is a very, very strong play. But alternatively, she could leave Godric so that she can either take him out with a remembrance weapon or take him out with a bow. I think that is honestly, I think that's a more productive play for her to leave Godric for now.
For Aggie right now, I'd rush Grafted Scion. You're in Liurnia. You already beat Godric. You're in Liurnia, right? Go for the Academy key and then go straight for Tower of the Belfries. Go for Grafted Scion. Get that center square.
Is really important.
Yeah. 100%.
I do think that it's also important. I mean, it's not nearly as important as getting cracked pots, but he does obviously have progress towards cracked pots, so it'll be I think it's a good secondary goal to finish up that cracked pot square.
Yep.
And then potentially go for the 8 Limgrave bosses as well. Some column 5 threats happening actually. Because imagine a situation where Aggie claims the 4 squares on that column 5 and doesn't claim acquire 4 different remembrances. That means Puppery cannot claim a majority victory until she kills 4 remembrance bosses.
Yeah, which is a lot.
And vice versa as well. Obviously, that could be a really good play for Puppery.
Looks like he's actually sticking to the Starfists, grabbing a bunch of smithing stones. I think he's just going to be like, you know what, this is going to be my weapon for bingo, which honestly is a fair pick. It's a really, really strong weapon, especially if you get it to plus 12. This is not a bad idea from Aggie in this case. He's also comfortable with this weapon. With the weapon randomizer, obviously there have been some instances where he just sticks with a weapon that he doesn't know, and then he's been underperforming because of that. He's like, okay, I don't really know what this weapon does. AKA last match, when both players didn't know that Lion's Claw is actually a good Ash of War. That could have made some squares even faster.
It could have turned the whole match around. If only they had pressed L2.
Yeah.
But that's Bingus, baby. Sorry, that's Bungo, baby.
Where'd this bungo come from?
It's equally viable as Bingus.
Okay. No, I don't. That's why I'm asking.
If you don't know, I'm not going to tell you.
That's okay.
Right?
That's okay. You know what? I don't have to know everything. That's okay.
You don't get it. This is why I'm more popular with the Zoomers.
Josh's commentary goes burr, as they say.
My ratings are through the roof right now. I don't know what I'm talking about. We don't have
Ratings.
We don't have those.
Looks like Pup is going for cracked pots here, by the way, grabbing the cracked pot here and the one right next to it. Maybe going for, she went for the consumable square with Bofa, which also gives her another cracked pot, by the way, in that cave. Maybe going for Jarberg afterwards.
Seems like a very strong play.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised anyways.
I really do think that column 5 could be a very big sleeper threat. Especially with how much this board lends itself towards a majority victory.
Aggie making his way over to Hugh. +3?
The
Plus
same
6.
actually.
Sorry.
Now that I look at it, the same is true for row 1, and Aggie does have a lot of progress towards that row 1.
It's not bad. It's not bad. And also, if you do Radon here, you also get access to Valiant Gargoyles.
He could choose to kill Radon with a Remembrance Weapon.
Honestly, look at it this way. You go for Radon. Don't restore the Great Rune. You go for Renala. And then you restore the Great Rune. Go downstairs. Kill Valiant Gargoyles. Regal Ancestor. GG's. That's it.
That's
row 1.
That tracks for me. Yep, absolutely.
That's not a bad move. The question is how much time.
This is crazy because that top right square is threatening because of how inaccessible it is.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though, also it's kind of interesting, is that Aggie didn't even check the Remembrance Weapons.
Yeah, that could be a mistake, but we'll have to see what he plans on doing next. I mean, he is going for the Grafted Scion, just like you mentioned, which I think is a very strong play.
Yeah. I agree.
I am still very surprised that they didn't go for Grafted Scion at all at the beginning. They both just were like, nope, I'm out. See ya.
Dude, that's like the one thing that I do miss is like people actually committing to an early Grafted Scion. Truly.
Maybe that's the true consequence of the weapon randomizer, because now we don't have the guaranteed Uchi, we don't have the scripted Grafted Scion.
Did you see that, by the way? Did you catch that?
What did I?
So Pup getting 10 cracked pots, but that merchant also had Stormhawk Axe.
Oh. Okay.
I saw that at the corner of my eye. That was a Stormhawk Axe just chilling. And she has Dragon Scale Blade. So in this case, she thinks that Dragon Scale would be better than Stormhawk, which I kind of disagree with. But you already have a strong weapon. She might have upgraded it already, you know?
Yeah. So look at this row 4 for Puppery. There's synergy between Wormface and Altus Plateau bosses. And then she still has Godric alive if she wants to use the bow only for that. That's a very attainable bingo for her.
Yep, I agree.
That might be the most attainable bingo line on the board.
Okay, Charge Dart 2 here coming from Aggie against Grafted Scion. He should be fine here. Gets a stagger. Okay.
Honestly, cannot be underestimated in these matches.
+6. Oh, there's the bleed, too.
Oh my god. Okay, never mind. You can underestimate this boss all you want to.
Gets a nice heal off. Should get another jumping R2 off.
That sucks. Yeah, there it is. There, yeah, good R2, good R2.
Jumping R2. There we go. And pitch. Very nice.
Wow.
Okay. You know what? We're looking better. We're looking good. We're turning this around. We're kind of building up mental stability by claiming some of these squares.
I think that he has, he's made a solid recovery from the Bofa fiasco.
Yeah.
Of the Bofa fiasco of 23, I think is what it will go down in history as it will. Yeah.
Here we go forward for 3 right now for Pup. Pup currently at the Southgate Grace, possibly grabbing the Academy key. What would she go for next here is the real question, I guess. Maybe just, full on prepping Altus. Oh, that might be a little close here. Okay, still good. Where's she going?
What door is Aggie opening right now? Okay, it's a catacomb. Okay, I looked away, looked back for a second, saw him opening some doors. Never seen these doors before in my life.
What is he doing in Stormfoot?
It's going for 8 Limgrave bosses, I would imagine.
Okay. In this case, sorry.
Well, this doesn't really do a ton for him.
I would honestly be going for the Stone Digger Troll because that is a tunnel. So you have that on column 4 as a tunnel.
On column 1, we have Catacomb Dungeons. So this
could
be equally viable.
I see. I missed that one. So Catacomb and Tunnels I think would be really good. And then going for Leonine as your last one maybe. That way you get, 8 Limgrave bosses, but also Leonine.
He has a very similar possibility here with claiming 4 squares on a row and leaving the last one. That's just a massive time sink for Puppery to have to block. If we look at that row 3, he could get the 8 Limgrave bosses, which synergizes nicely with Catacombs as well as Tunnel or Precipice. And then he just leaves Morgott and says, hey, Puppery, you have to kill Morgott if you want to win by majority now.
Yep.
That's a pretty strong play as well.
Yep. Yeah, I think
see how it works out for him.
This row 3 angle I think is actually be really, really good for him for sure.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see that before. But he's gonna have to eventually, he's gonna have to respect that row 4, because if Puppery gets advantage on Altus,
wow.
I don't know if Aggie has the ability to respond to that.
I don't know, but that was fast.
That was fast.
Fast.
As they say, Starro Fists, they go burr.
Burr.
How am I supposed to say that? Is it like I'm shivering?
I don't know.
Is it like did they go is that what they do?
I don't think that's how it's said, but that's how it's spelled. Yep,
right you are.
And it looks like Pup is going straight for the Dectus elevator here, by the way.
Yeah, if Puppery gets to Altus before Aggie, that means she has advantage on both Wormface and Altus bosses. We know she already has an advantage on the Remembrance boss bow only. I don't know how Aggie responds to this. He's going to have to recognize the threat.
Maybe he just thinks that his line... I don't know, yeah. I don't know.
I'm not sure. At this point, if he wants to get to Altus and start taking out Altus bosses, he's probably going to have to do so through Volcano Manor.
Yeah, this is actually really tough. This is actually really, really tough, that row 4.
I'm thinking maybe he could do, Noble, Rykard for 2 Altus bosses and then take out Abductor Virgins for the 3rd.
No, he'd have to go for fast ones. You couldn't do Noble Rykard. I don't think. That's too slow. You want to go for Gillica, Godfrey, Falling Star Beast, Tree Sentinel Duo, Knight's Cav, and Wormface.
Problem is, Puppery has advantage on all of those right now.
Yep.
This is a very deceptively threatening position for Puppery to be in. I apparently cannot say Puppery's name. Don't tell her. Don't tell her, okay? Just don't say anything. This never happened.
I got 2 Catacombs.
Well played from Aggie. It's a great square to grab right there. Unfortunately, this does tell Puppery that Aggie has been doing something that isn't Altus, potentially. It is technically possible that he did do those on Altus.
This looks rough. That's just that row 4 is too good, especially with already Aggie having Godric dead with that fist only. That bow only is terrifying.
It honestly, it reminds me a little bit of the match yesterday between Kata and CBD, where there's this looming threat that's very difficult to recognize, and by the time you recognize it, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like this.
If this was something planned out ahead by Puppery, that's pretty crazy to recognize that and just kind of spin it into a victory. It's pretty impressive.
She has a Dragon Scale Blade +4 too still, I believe. Which should be good enough to deal with a lot of these Altus bosses.
Yeah, I do remember seeing her practicing Wormface, I believe, at one point. So we'll have to see if that gives her some confidence here. Apparently she's still rocking a +0, Which actually, it does make sense. She hasn't defeated any Remembrance bosses yet, so she hasn't had the money, really.
Yeah, but you don't really need money in this case.
Well, to get to +4, you need like 17k, right?
I guess, but I mean, I don't know. If you're practiced enough, a lot of these bosses in Altas aren't that bad. Like, especially Wormface. All you have to do with Wormface is just stagger him. He takes so much headshot damage anyways. You know? You don't really need...
Right.
You don't really need a lot of damage in that case.
But a +0 is still a +0.
Yeah.
Just not gonna do a whole lot of work. However, you know, one of our Altas bosses here is Draconic Tree Sentinel, which you don't... I mean, +0 will work for Draconic Tree Sentinel. You just slap him off the cliff. Although, I don't know if she has a parry shield. She could be doing the slower variation of the cheese, where you use the Kukri to aggro him to the cliff and then just stagger him.
Probably. I mean, she's already hovering over Kukris in this case. She has 5. She would need a bow, though, to make sure, I guess, like that they're thrown in the right area. Because I don't know if you can free aim it, really. I mean, you probably could, but it's just, like, really difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you normally do it with a bow, and you're supposed to, like, aim at the rocks.
Now, looking at you know, Puppery's position here, you know, we also have to consider what information she has on Aggie at the moment. Because
yeah,
she may not recognize how much of an advantage she has. And if she doesn't recognize that, you know, we had a match last weekend where Zoodle ended up pivoting off of the winning line to go and complete a square that took him a long time. He did end up securing the victory anyways, but I could see the very same thing happening here with Puppery.
Yeah. I don't know. Especially with going for DTS, which does take a lot longer than other Altus bosses. This does give Aggie enough time to possibly go for the Wormface block here. He's going to go through Precipice, which this is going to take him a while, though, too. So even though she's losing a little bit of time on going for DTS, which it does give her a lot of money, though, to upgrade for the Altus bosses, like, it's counteracted by Aggie going through Precipice rather than using Dectus Elevator in this case.
Right. And if Aggie does make it to that Wormface before Puppery can, I think Aggie would be in a really, really good position.
Yeah, the Wormface block would be huge. I agree.
We're going to have a little Wormface race on our hands here, I think. And this will also give Aggie the second Precipice. It'll give him the Precipice for that square on row 3.
I don't think he's done a tunnel yet, has he? He's only done a catacomb.
Right, you are. Absolutely.
So this would be a first tunnel.
Wait, did he do a tunnel?
I don't think he. I know he did a catacomb.
You know, Aggie's usually pretty good about marking his progress, so I imagine that would have a 1 next to it if he had.
Oh, this is a new Kukri. I've never seen this strat before. That's a different one.
Oh God, that's actually so like. That's not. Oh.
That's way better than the other one. She's fine.
Okay, she still gets the stagger. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
That's way better than the other one. That's why I was a little confused. The other one was a bit more jank, I would say, where you had to use, I think, 2 or 3.
That's pretty fast.
So that's definitely way better. That is way better. And that is 50,000 runes for Pup now, too, for upgrades.
Yeah, so she will have the ability to go upgrade to +4.
Mm-hmm.
And also get a nice little chunk of levels as well. And then she'll be in a really nice spot to go take out Wormface. Because Wormface doesn't have a lot of HP.
No, just really annoying in Deathblight. But it looks like she's going actually to Stormhill here. Possibly grabbing Stormhawk Axe? Or is she just going for Limgrave bosses? Sleeping Pots?
I have...
Physic?
I have no idea.
I think she's grabbing Stormhawk.
Yeah, there's a Stormhawk.
I'm a little surprised by that, but okay.
It does seem a little unnecessary, but I mean, Stormhawk is it's a faster weapon. She may just know the move. She may be more comfortable with the moveset, which I do think that does play a big factor into these matches. Where like if you're playing with a weapon you're not super comfortable with, you might misplay, might be more liable to die to whatever fight you're on. So maybe that plays into it.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but it is costing her a little bit of extra time just to go for that. But she does have currently time on her side, as she already killed one Altus boss, but also currently has
already got the
advances.
Altus presence.
Yep. Going for a Knight's Cav, it looks like, making it nighttime. Nope, never mind, she's leveling.
Yeah, no, that was incorrect, but you know, that was a also very viable potential play for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. You're right next to it, you know, make it nighttime right here. The Knight's Cav would be right behind you in this case. But I think she's rushing maybe
like
Wormface first just to make sure that she doesn't lose that specific boss in Altus.
She may understand the urgency of claiming that square. Question is she going to be able to find a bow that she likes for Godric after this? You know, she's going to have to go on a bit of a scavenger hunt looking for that.
Aggie kind of being pushed around by this Makar.
Yeah, he can sometimes meme you and just shove you right into the lava.
Yeah.
I have definitely died to that like several times.
Oh yeah, that was a little bit of a close roll there. Does get the stagger though, very nice.
Yeah, yep. What do you think he's getting out of this? What weapon do you think he's dropping?
Morgoth's curved sword.
I'm gonna go with the Zamor curved sword.
Okay. Bleed proc here, that's huge. Nice little headshot.
Nice headshot.
Should get a stagger here soon. He's gotta be careful not to touch that lava though. There's the stagger. Honestly,
it's a fast fight.
I would just go for R1s in this case, trying to get that bleed proc.
Starfists are crazy.
They're really good, yeah. Jump. Nope, he doesn't do the jump.
Roll.
That's terrifying.
But if you jump, you can do a jump bar too.
Yeah, I know. Another stagger though. Okay, that's a nice Makar for Aggie in this case.
And there's Puppery approaching Wormface. She's at a huge advantage going into this.
Bloodhound's Fang, by the way, was dropped.
Well, we both suck. I don't know if we've had a single correct call.
Yeah, I don't think
since I've been commentating here with you.
Uh-oh. Deathblight is building up here.
Whoa,
okay, she's got a decent amount of
dicey.
damage, though.
She's going to have to be careful. And that Deathblight does not go away quickly.
Yep. A little bit more spitting happening here from Wormface. Gotta be careful. Also, that grab attack coming out. Oh, never mind.
Okay. It was actually a head slam.
Yeah, I thought that. They look the same. They really do.
Which, in many ways, is like a grab in reverse.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
What? Dude, I feel like that should have procced. No, that looked like it's
That's
interesting. I think
and
because
today
of the.
we say thank you to Torrent iframes.
Yeah, I was about to say it's probably because of Torrent iframes there, right?
Yeah, had to be.
Very nice. That was really, really close. Just has to be careful though, because yeah, as you mentioned, that decay bar just takes a while, which is a little annoying.
And it seems like her resistance is fairly low.
Yeah, it's building up again. She's got to be really careful here. What really sucks too is like when that happens, is that whole stagger that you've been building up the whole time goes away because you're trying to avoid being death blighted.
Can you even be grabbed if you're on Torrent? I feel like you can't.
I don't know. That's a good question. I think you can.
Well, I think you can't.
She missed.
No!
But there's no Deathblight proc here, so she might actually survive still. Yep. That's kind of the interesting thing.
A little dive into the spaghetti there, but thankfully surviving.
Almost had the stagger, but got grabbed out of it.
This is looking pretty good for Puppery.
Just has to be careful not to be grabbed again.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Getting a head slam.
Oh, boy.
Here's the grab.
Oh, boy.
That was close. Deathblight is also building up. She has to be careful.
Oh my god.
Getting head slammed again. Yo, Wormface is just like, stay away from my legs. I don't like this.
Just a hair away from getting death blighted there. And this right here, this is gonna be tight. Now, Aggie is actually going back, meanwhile, and upgrading the Bloodhound's Fang, which I think is it's an important thing for him to do. But I do think that, as a result, Puppery secures the Wormface uncontested, and Aggie is going to have to play catch up here and figure out what he's going to do about this row 4.
Okay, she already has 2 bosses. He has to go for those quick ones that I mentioned. Gillica, Godefroy, Tibet Mariner, Falling Star Beast, Tree Sentinel Duo. They're all kind of close to each other. Knight's Cav.
But instead we see him leaving Altus Plateau. Where is he going?
bow only? Is he trying to get like act?
Honestly, I actually think this is the right play. As terrifying as it is a square that takes a long time. You have to find the bow. You have to actually do the fight itself, which takes a long time. But unfortunately, his selection of bosses to choose from to use the bow on is not good.
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad.
But Puppery is going to be spending a fair amount of time, taking out the rest of these Altus Plateau bosses. So it does give him a chance to set that up, thankfully for him.
Yeah.
That Stormhawk axe is just blending, just absolutely blendering Gillica. Jalika?
No, it's Gillica.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
All right, good.
I've never, there's no voice lines that mention her or anything, so.
No, it is true. No, you're right.
Yeah. Could be anything.
Is there
Meanwhile,
like a
Aggie-
definite bow check in Kaled? Oh, Serpent Bow, I guess. Is that where he's going?
Yeah, I guess. So, okay, maybe you can clear this up for me. If Aggie were to just kill Radahn, the Great Bow wouldn't be swapped for another Great Bow, right? It would be swapped for another Remembrance weapon?
Right.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
Which he still hasn't checked Godric's Remembrance. What if Godric has Radahn's bow?
Godric could have Radahn's bow. I wonder if he spent it, though.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, on a board like this, look at this, though. If he gets the Lion's Great Bow from the Remembrance off of Godric, then he can get 2 squares with 1 Remembrance boss. You can get Remembrance boss bow only and Remembrance boss Remembrance weapon only, right? Is that on this board?
Yes. Bottom left.
Yes, it is. Look at me. Getting squares correct. I don't have a great track record on that, Dom.
No, you're doing great. No worries.
Thank you. As are you.
Thank you. Currently 5 for 4 per Pup, and Pup is only 3 bosses away to getting that 4th square in row 4.
Yeah.
Looking at a potential bingo.
The clock is ticking for Aggie here as he is searching for a means to block this bingo.
You know, call me
Come
crazy.
down to the wire.
Call me crazy.
You're crazy.
What if you just rushed row 3 here as Aggie? If I'm being completely honest, you have 1 tunnel left. You can do the tunnel in Limgrave, which is a Limgrave boss and a tunnel. You get the tunnel square. Do 1 more Limgrave boss, which you could do Bloodhound Fang, right? Or Bloodhound Knight, and then just go straight to Capital. Well, you need 2 remembrances. Never mind. You need another remembrance. You'd have to kill Radahn or something.
Right. That, yeah.
Never mind. That is annoying.
I mean, it's not the slowest line, but I think it's slower than what Puppery's got going on.
I think if you rushed it, it wouldn't have been. But him pivoting between his line and Pup's now, I think that definitely made it the slower option for sure.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's another case where just committing to a line could have made all the difference. But, it's one of those things where, you can't really assess the threat until it's right there. It's hard to consider everything.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
Especially,
tough.
Because hindsight's 2020. He may not have even recognized that Puppery had the threat on row 4 until it was too late. So,
well, that's what I was talking about, though. And even Aggie knows about that. Is when you go for a Remembrance Square first, you know that you're locked out of the other ones, kind of, because you don't have Godric available anymore.
Right. Yeah. So that Godric, I really do think that the fist only. Or sorry, the daggers, claws, and fists only for Godric actually ended up hurting Aggie substantially in this situation.
Yeah, because Pup would have had that instead and would have locked her out of bow only, she would have not been able to commit to row 4 as much now. Also, that consumable only really backfiring on him twice.
Yeah, for sure.
Almost 3 times. He is currently at Radahn now. I think he is prepping potentially for bow-only Radahn. And that, he's got time. He's got some time here. He still has, Pup still has to do 2 bosses. Currently doing the Watchdog, and then, I don't know, I guess maybe doing the Knight's Cav?
Yep, here he is checking the crossbow down here, the black key crossbow.
Yep.
I believe it's called. Or is it the Crepus cross? What? Which?
Crepus? Great bow. That's not bad. Great bow's
That's
not
actually
bad.
pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
not bad. That could actually be pretty decent if you know how to do bow only. It's Radon,
I mean, on the other hand, it means he loses out. He doesn't have the ability to do poison arrows.
Oh, really? Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, because with great bolts, you get physical or you get explosive great bolts or like lightning great bolts. You don't have any sort of like
That is true.
status effect proccing with great bolts.
But I guess if
great,
you do, oh, never mind.
great arrows.
That's tough. Yeah, you can't even use summons in this case too. That's tough.
Yeah.
Pup trying to memory of Grace out, but gets killed instead. It doesn't really matter, I guess. You're going to lose the money regardless. And Aggie pivoting back to Knight's Cav.
Knight's Cav. This is a very interesting move here. I mean,
I guess he was hoping for a good bow, and they didn't get the good bow, so he's like, all right, never mind, screw the bow line. I'm just going to go try and rush Altus bosses?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, though. Like, this is tough. You know, I'm not sure exactly what Puppery's next bosses are, what she plans on doing next.
What if Pup actually pivots off of Altus bosses and tries to go for the bow only instead, and Aggie dies to Knight's Cav?
This is tough.
This
is very tough. What can you say,
And Parkey's wise words, it's not over until it's over, but it's looking pretty tough.
That's bungo, baby. It's gonna catch on, Dom. Don't look. Just let it happen.
Dude, they said that about the Bingo Cube as well, and I am hell-bent on never having that happen. So
Bingo Cube is happening.
No, it's
all right. Look. Zoodle has given me some intel about the Bingo Cube, and it is... Not only is it real, it's happening. And then the next season, the Bingo Hypercube.
What the hell is the Bingo Hypercube?
You know what? It's a 4-dimensional cube.
Oh, like Bingo Multiverse?
Yeah. Just you wait, Dom. Just you wait. Meanwhile, Puppery has finished her 5th boss in Altus Plateau, leaving only one more to go before securing the 4th square, after which she can double back to Godric the Grafted with bow only. It's pretty scary.
She doesn't have a bow yet, but yeah, just go for that great bow that Aggie picked up, and yeah, you're pretty much set for life.
Great bow would work on Godric.
I mean, it would work on Radon too. I'm not sure why Aggie's kind of shying away from the great bow on Radon.
I don't know. It is unupgraded. I don't even know if he has an opportunity to buy great arrows yet.
I'm doing a bunch of random checks, it seems like. He's going for the tunnel, it seems, in Limgrave. I think he's just going for his line.
He could just... Yeah, I mean, he could just try to bluff that and
that's
try
not
to
a bad idea.
Puppery over to the Morgott square.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. He hasn't marked anything in like a hot minute. Like, what if he does mark Tunnel and Limgrave bosses, and then she's like, "Oh crap, he's been prepping this whole time."
What must have been setting up the Morgott square.
That's not horrible, especially because bow only does suck in Bingo.
However, the unfortunate thing about that is because Puppery wouldn't have any kind of counterplay from Morgott, she has to commit to her line anyways.
Well, she really killed DTS though. Yeah, no, that's true.
Doesn't have any remembrances.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't know. That is tough. Yeah. I guess we'll find out on what they choose.
I mean, this is an exercise in confidence, I think, for Puppery here. It's like,
yeah,
she's gonna have to see what Aggie's doing and assess whether she can confidently just continue what she's doing. But Puppery is in a very good position here for sure.
There's we go.
The 6th Altus Plateau boss.
There we go.
Was that only her? Okay, I'm kind of surprised that was only her first tunnel. But, I mean, I didn't even recognize the threat that she could have sniped that tunnel square. Which, in my mind, shows that it wasn't really on her radar. She doesn't really feel like she has to block row 3, because that would have been the one to block.
Aggie going for Deathbird here, I believe. Oh, he's changing his mind.
But it's not. Is it not nighttime?
No, it's not nighttime yet. I don't know what he's doing.
Is there another bow here in Stormvale, maybe?
Yeah, I guess he just really doesn't want to deal with the Great Bow here. And Pup going for that bow check. Going to find that Great Bow as well with the black key bolts.
As long as she finds the great arrows to go with it.
Honestly, if Aggie finds a crossbow, you could use those black key bolts for Scarlet Rot proc on Radahn, which is definitely very strong.
Yeah.
So that might be the this is where the bow is? Oh wow, okay.
That's a sick jump.
Jar cannon.
Jar cannon.
Probably the worst thing.
That is not ideal.
That is probably the worst option possible.
No. Wow.
That's terrible, dude.
I mean, what can you say? Unlucky, right?
Yeah.
That is unlucky. It's not super common that actually, luck plays a factor in these matches, but that's just unlucky. What can I say?
Nah, that's definitely like a luck check for sure, I would say. But yeah, it looks like that Pup is committing to the Great Bow and going straight to the secluded cell. Grace here going to be doing Godric Bow only.
Question is, how many great arrows does she have?
I'm not sure.
She may not have any. That might be why she's bailing.
Guess she has to go check for a merchant here now that has arrows.
This could potentially be a very funny end to this match.
No arrows here.
Imagine they just can't find arrows. Like, they'll find them eventually. But who knows how long it'll be?
That's 8 Limgrave bosses here for Aggie.
Aggie taking revenge on the Bofa. Very nice.
Dude, imagine he gets Radahn now and goes to he's going to Radahn. Wait, could do. No, he's not. Dude,
Okay, checking another merchant.
Wait. Oh yeah, she's checking this merchant. Okay, I thought for like 2 seconds she was like pivoting to the Morgoth thing. I was like, okay, you know, and let me actually. Never mind. She still needs 2 remembrances. I keep forgetting about that. Keep forgetting about it.
Looks like Aggie may be going to the trapped chest here, maybe?
There are some Caled merchants that should have arrows too.
With the luck that Puppery's having on these arrow checks, there's a chance Aggie could kill Morgoth before she gets the resources she needs to actually take out Godric.
Yeah.
Not to mention if she happens to die on that fight.
But he's not going for it. What is he doing?
I have no idea.
What is he doing?
Maybe checking another merchant for
another bow
resources? Check? I don't know about this.
I would just commit to the Morgoth at this point. If I'm being honest. Go for the Radahn kill. You have a +4 Bloodhound Fang summon, right, for Radahn. And then just make your way to capital.
There's the great arrows for Puppery.
Those are just normal arrows.
I believe there were also great arrows.
There were great arrows, but those were normal arrows that she just bought, which I don't think work. Those are the great arrows. 19.
Yeah, she bought both. Okay.
But you can't use normal arrows on the great bow, right?
Nope. She got.
So I guess she.
I don't know why she got normal arrows. Maybe it was misclick.
I don't know.
Where is she going right now?
I don't know.
It's a mystery all around. I wonder if she could be looking for a normal bow. I don't know how many she was able to buy off of that merchant. How many arrows? It may not have been enough.
Okay, bow check number 3 here for Aggie.
This is one of the most hilarious end games of a bingo match I've ever seen.
Imagine Aggie gets this though. Then he wins because then he's quicker at Morgott.
Yeah, I mean this is just I don't know what to say.
That'd be that'd be so weird. That'd be so weird.
It comes down to its arrow difference. What like this is?
Why is he going for?
That's a shield, and that is a warming stone. Very, very nice.
I am so confused. Oh, great arrows. Okay, I was gonna say Parky. Pup did find great arrows here. 20 of them. Is that enough? That might be enough. I don't know. Does the great bow have mighty shot? I think it does, right?
20 is probably enough. 20 is probably enough.
Oh, she also has a crossbow. Oh, that's why
Okay.
she bought the arrows. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, for crossbow, you'd need crossbow bolts, though.
Yeah,
Not normal
very
arrows.
true, very true, very true.
She has the 20 rot arrows, though. The 20 rot bolts, I should say. So that is definitely huge.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, 20 is enough. That's gonna cut it. Unless
She shoots at a storm wall.
he's reflecting the arrows back at her. You know, can that hit you?
No, I think I asked Chris, and he said no. I thought that would be kind of cool, though, if they hit you back in the face.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah, it'd be kind of funny, right? Oh,
And I
Scarlet
think with-
Rot already.
With this timing,
Through and through. Oh,
if
it's not even a mighty
Aggie had
shot.
just
Oh, wow.
committed to Morgott, it might have been close.
That's good damage. Wait, through and through goes through the storm wall. Yo, that is interesting.
Goes through everything.
Did it actually go through the storm wall, or was it just, like, perfectly timed?
I
Can't tell.
can't say for certain. But I mean, it is called through and through.
There we
So
go,
it sounds
phase
like
2.
it maybe goes through and through. Man, at this rate, if Aggie had just committed to Morgott, it could have been pretty close, dude.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Kind of crazy.
But Puppery is gonna have to clutch out this Godric fight.
Oh, she'll be fine. She has a lot of health. She's got a lot of arrows.
Look, Dom. I learned my lesson about saying things like that last week. Okay.
Hmm. Oh, misses that.
You know, if you feel confident, maybe I'll test out the caster blessing again. Maybe I'll test it out.
All right, go for it. Do it right now.
Yeah, Puppery's a great runner. I think she's got this.
Scarlet Rot wore off, but only 2 more through and throughs should be enough.
Yeah, just a couple more shots. That's all it takes. At this range, oh, he's deflecting the arrows.
I guess
And
it, so. I
here's
guess
a
it doesn't go
little
through
tornado.
the. I guess it doesn't go through and through.
Oh, the
There
fire!
it is.
Okay, she gets the kill.
There it is. That is Bingus for Pup. GG's.
Puppery with the dubbery.
Bro, my eyes are so dry. Holy, I haven't blinked in like an hour and 5 minutes.
I can't say I blame you. Blink and you'll miss it, is what they say.
What a match.
Holy.
GG's, man. GG's.
My God. And that puts Puppery at 4 and 2? 4 and 1?
4 and 1. Yeah, 4 and 1.
4 and 1. 4 and 1, yeah. Well played.
I feel like it all came down to that consumable square, man. That's tough.
It may have. It very well may have. I mean, that consumable only square was on that row 4, you know? If Aggie were to have snagged that first try, he would have had the advantage on row 4, and then it's a totally different game.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the Beastman of Far Missoula, Mr. Bofa himself, taking his toll on our dear friend Aggie.
Yeah,
But
that was so the first time he ran out. The second time he ran out again? Is that right? Pretty much, because he just started like punching Bofa because he only had 9
well, I
left.
believe what happened was he was throwing them and they just kept missing. And like they were like basic. I mean, it was the type of miss where it just looks like it just goes through him because his hitbox is all janky.
Yeah.
And yeah, it happened like 4 times, and he was like, "Screw this! I'm just gonna attack him," and then ended up dying.
All right, let me bring Pup in here. Yo, Pup, welcome in. GG's.
Well played, Pup.
So much. I honestly can't believe. I don't know. That was a crazy game.
That was overall a very intense game.
Played very well.
Thank you.
When you went into the match, by the way, was there anything? Was that the row 4? Was that a specific line that you looked at from the very beginning, or did you pick that up after the consumable square, for example?
Well, I really liked row 2 and the diagonal, the bottom left to top right, the diagonal, I kind of liked as well. And I kind of had a feeling that he would get the center square, so I was more looking at row 2 and 4 pretty early on. I guess I first was looking at column 2 because I wanted to do the daggers myself. But then as soon as he got that, I was like, oh, well, I'm just gonna do whatever has bow only on it. Basically. So, and then since the row 4 was also a lot of ultis and I had the ultis access already, I felt like I basically can just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about that, where like if someone goes for a remembrance square, the other person kind of has free reign over the other options on Godric, pretty much. And in this case, Aggie going for the fists only square to give you enough time just be able to hold on to that bow only square into the end game, which definitely paid off a lot. So that was really, really good. When it came to the weapon choices, by the way, you did swap from the Dragon Scale Blade to the Stormhawk Axe. Was that a comfort thing? Just like the Stormhawk Axe, so you just wanted to switch to that? Or what was the thought process there?
Yeah, I'm more comfortable with the Stormhawk Axe, and I just personally always feel like it's a stronger weapon as well, just because if you use the L2, it just staggers almost everything in it. Like, you can just spam it on so many things, and you don't have to worry about anything. So, even though I was happy wielding the Dragon Scale Blade, as soon as there was Stormhawk, I was like, yeah, okay. Since I didn't, if I had upgraded the Dragon Scale already, I would have just kept with that. But since I hadn't yet, I just switched.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, very nice, very nice. That was a very good game from you.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Let's bring in Aggie here real quick as well. Welcome in, Aggie. GG's, good sir.
GG's.
GG, Aggie.
Oh, GG's.
Again, tough start, man. I don't know. I think you've absorbed a lot of tough luck, it seems, for some of your matches with that consumable only square.
Dude, like, what in the world?
Bofa was trolling.
He was literally trolling. It was actually unreal.
Your knives
Wait,
were just
what
like
happened?
phasing through him over and over
Wait, you were
again.
doing consumable only as well?
Yeah, I did it first thing, and he was like one throwing dagger from death,
Oh.
and I ran out. And then I did a Gale and
Damn.
restocked, and the same thing happened again.
That really sucks.
Yeah, twice failing on consumables only, and then you had to go for I think you went for claws, fists, and daggers only. So after having that really tough start to the match, what was your thought process overall? Looking at row 3, obviously that was a really solid line, it seemed like, but obviously having row 4 kind of staring you in the face to respond to, how is the mid game kind of looking for you? Plan wise.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I was going for Worm Face, and then that got marked as I was pulling up just slightly too late to it.
Damn.
And then after that, I immediately started setting up for bow only, and I checked 4 different bows, and literally none of them were actually
it was
bows.
unlucky.
So I don't know what I'm supposed to do in that situation besides just lose. Because I was gonna deadly poison Radon, and that needs to be a basic bow for the deadly poison to work, and that's the only way I could possibly have enough damage for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
The bow categories are mixed for some reason. I don't really get it because the shield categories aren't. The bows and
so
crossbows
for
and great bows are all one thing.
yeah, well, crossbows, great bows, and bows, they all count towards the bow square.
Right.
Yeah. But getting honestly jar cannon, I don't think anyone would have used that anyways.
Not ideal.
That was probably the worst pickup possible, I think, when it came to bows. So that was just unfortunate. Pulling up jar cannon as one of your options. But besides that, though, like at least bringing it back from a really tough early game, especially even with that Agil death, and like still trying to get some squares on the board and having a really threatening row 3, I think was still really good.
Yeah, I mean, if I got the consumable only, the row 3 would have worked. Or if I just got a bow on my first check instead of my 5th check, it would have worked too.
Yeah.
So how close were you to Morgoth?
I wasn't. I was waiting to find a bow for Radon.
Fair enough.
I could have maybe gone just for the Radon kill and raised some
It might have been
Morgoth,
close,
but
but
it might have been close. I don't think I would have got there in time though.
that the Bofa would have just destroyed my mental. Like
Pretty frustrating.
yeah.
Yeah. Tough
That
match.
Pulling it
sounds
back as
pretty
much as he
annoying.
did is pretty respectable.
By the way, both of you skipping Grafted Scion in the beginning of the match there. Was a little surprised by that both of you didn't really try to kind of, I guess, force it to see if you could just get that early square, center square. I'm assuming just out of comfort reasons, or what was the the thoughts there?
I just don't think Grafted Scion's ever worth it in the weapon random format because it's too unreliable, and even if you kill him, like you wasted a lot of time killing him.
Yeah, I agree.
The risk versus reward is just not there.
Fair.
I agree. I'm
And
personally
even
also
on a
not
center square,
comfortable
that
with
says
it,
a lot.
but Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, this is about as good of a situation as you could hope for doing it, because like he had really good early game or starting weapons.
Yeah.
And he's middle square, and it still didn't feel worth the risk.
That's fair. Gotcha. Well, still an amazing match between both of you. It still was very, very fun to watch. GG's again to Pup for taking the dub this weekend. Congrats to you. And we'll see Pup next week. Aggie is not playing next week. That's why he had 2 matches today.
I'm also not playing next week.
Right. I forgot about that. My bad. Sorry. But thanks so much for playing, you two, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for the week 7.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
No
GG's again.
GG's.
Yeah, well played to both of our runners. It was a very entertaining match to watch and one of the most hilarious end games I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough overall. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's how
Bingus, baby.
That's how the bingus bongus.
It definitely bongus when you bingus. That's definitely something to always remember.
Yes, sir. With that being said, though, guys, that is the end of week 5. All right, moving into week 6 next week, because that's how weeks work. Kind of crazy, like how fast it's been going. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's been zooming.